Just give me a call. I'm having a good time. Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't want to stop at all. I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars, on a collision course. I am a satellite. I'm out of control. I am a sex machine ready to reload, like an atom bomb about to explode. I'm burning through the sky, 200 degrees. That's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make it supersonic, woman, and you. All right, now, we all know that life is too short for regrets. So I don't want you to let fear stop you from doing anything. I want you to go out and love somebody and live your life. I know I will. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have a good time. Gonna have a good time. A good time, I'm having a ball. Stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. I'm having a good time. Yeah, I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop at all.
Chelsea's here. She just didn't see the link, so I'm resending it.
It's coming. Hold on. There we go. We were on the wrong screen. Here we go.
More song.
Welcome to the virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the Suzette Veneti Show. Please welcome to your screen, Suzette Veneti.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's 5:07. You're like, Suzette, don't you weirdly start at 5:03? We do. Today's at 5:07. Deal with it. Put on your big person pants. Unless you're a little person. Put on your little person pants. Unless you don't wear pants, because I'm not going to make you pick. I walked myself into this. Put on your clothes. Unless you're a nudist. Fuck. It's so hard to do comedy. You're going to offend somebody. Point is, it's 5:07. I know people watching are like, that's not comedy. I know. It's hard. I'm not good at it. It's 5:07. It's not 5:03. Hi. Welcome to the Suzette Veneti Show, the show where the host is ridiculous, but she brings you her friends and creative family who are much more talented than she is. And not only do they all agree, but they will tell you how bad the host is. I don't know who writes that. Probably David Shapiro. Okay, cool. Before we start, actually a somber note. I must acknowledge the tragic murders of Duante Wright and Adam Toledo. We keep wondering when the cold-blooded murders of unarmed black men and children at this point by law enforcement will stop being a regular occurrence. But sadly, we keep wondering, and it isn't an actuality yet. So it needs to be. And it's never easy to go from that to any sort of monologue, but I will try. The jokes won't be funny, so there's the transition. Locally, it's getting colder in the mountains and warmer in the valley. Over a foot of snow was reported in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and 90-degree weather hit down in the valley. The snow is obvious to see, but with the heat, you can usually tell by the sluttiness of my outfit. Colton Underwood, the 23rd Bachelor, came out as gay on Good Morning America on Wednesday, revealing that he's weeks into filming a Netflix reality show about his coming out. Gus Kenworthy will appear as Underwood's gay guide. In related news, Mike Pence, former Vice President Mike Pence, had a pacemaker put into his heart. And that's it for me. And now we're going to get to that creative friend and family portion where they're much better than me. Without any further ado, coming in hot from El Paso, Texas, which is I'm really excited to hear about. I want to know what's going on and how she's doing and how she likes it and what the weather's like, what the food is like. I don't know. What matters is she's talented, she's funny, she's the best, she's good at everything she tries, she's amazing. Peers and queers, give it up for one of my favorite people, Chelsea Bearce.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I love that this is your show and your monologues are getting shorter and fucking shorter. I'm like, bitch, this is your show.
It is.
Step the fuck up. But last week you were just like, hi guys, it's the Suzette Veneti. Now to everybody else. I'm like, what the fuck? You don't do, like, you're driving me insane. Like, oh my God. This show is gonna be mine. You realize that? Like in 2 months' time, it's gonna be the Chelsea Bearce show, and then I'll have you on for little segments just so that I can get a break and go pee. Like, that's where this is headed. How are you, bitch? How was brunch?
It was good. I think I've proven I can't do little segments, so it'll just be your show without me.
You can only do little segments. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to trust you with any sort of real time slot.
Sure. Let's
all be honest.
Okay. I actually thought it was better to not do a lot of jokes that I didn't think were funny. Honestly, what's your take on that? Like, if I have a week where like I write some like mediocre jokes for the monologue, like, is it better to like say like I'm gonna swing, I'm gonna miss, or is it better to just say here's what I got that I think is good? I think it's just
better because there's never a week where nothing's happening.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
If there's a lot of weeks where you don't write material for those things, which is fine. But is the monologue more about you being funny or you talking about what's going on? Because I feel like if you want to bring up popular, like pop culture or current events, then just fucking say it. You do it a lot. Like, if you do have stuff, you're like, this happened. I don't have a joke for it, but it sure did happen. Like, just tell us what's going on. Because then at least you're setting the stage, letting people come in. This is your show. if they just walk in the door right now and they see me talking, they're a damn well guarantee they're going to think that this is my show and not yours. Right?
Well, I mean, my weird cartoon is on it.
Oh my God.
So brunch. Right. Sorry. Allergies.
Okay.
Oh my God. We're outside at brunch and like, it's like what little makeup I'm wearing. Like, let's not mess it up, allergy tree.
Yeah, no, you're very natural.
Very natural.
I didn't ask you about brunch today. I don't know what you did. We'll get to that in a second. I only have a few minutes because I have to leave for my show. But I did notice, because I was on Venmo today and then I just started scrolling, which is definitely a sad point in anyone's life when they just scroll Venmo. I saw that you got a lot of tips today.
You know what? And I was thinking about you actually, because I know I talked to you about this and I know I talked to Apple. I wanted to get to a point where my off day, like the day that I was like, I'm not so sure about today, wasn't the Make-A-Wish day that you witnessed in person. And that was today. Like, I did not feel like, I'm going to be transparent. I just didn't feel like, there are days where I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this number and I'm going to make everybody live. And today I was like, I don't know. So I have a formula when I do brunch, and if I'm not hosting, I just try to do something that everyone's gonna know, everyone's gonna like. Because if I'm hosting, I can be a fucking weirdo and do a weird song because I get to talk and like kind of be myself.
Okay.
So I did Physical by Dua Lipa.
Okay.
And I did it in a full-on jogging outfit, from head to toe, and I jogged in from across the like. You know where Badlands is. I jogged in from a block away because you can see across the parking lot to the next street. So I jogged in from a block away to start the song and then just did exercise for the whole song.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I did Material Girl in like a gorgeous dress. And I'm glad we did too. Like, I think so you can tell me this because I've never done 2 comedy shows in one night, but with brunch, we do 2 shows back to back. And the first show is a little bit like, you know what, that was good, but I think I can improve upon that. And so I think I really improved upon it in the second brunch show.
Oh, okay. Good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So, and you saw the tips, so I guess
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys had a successful brunch.
We did.
Yay, bravo, woohoo. Yeah, I'm in El Paso right now. And I'm staying pretty much in my room the whole time because I'm terrified of Texas because they were just like masks. And the club is at full capacity. Like it's just, so like everything's open. The staff loves me. I think the cook is in love with me actually. And she actually asked me, she found out that I love karaoke and she was like, I'm the karaoke queen. And I was like, I'm so sorry. You're what? And I wanted to just battle this bitch until she was crying in a corner.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you don't understand the level that karaoke runs through my soul. Like you don't get it. And then she was like, well, I know a club that's open right now and I'm friends with the KJ and we can and I was like, and it took every single ounce of self-restraint and control to not go out like clubbing in Texas during a pandemic. Like we're not done. You know what I mean? Just because some of the shots have been rolled out and some things are back in orange, which apparently is good. I don't know when red and orange got fucking good, but now like things can open up. We're not done, y'all. Like we're not done. So don't be, thinking that there's some magic spell out there where the earth is just safe now. It's not safe yet. We're not safe. So we still have to live. We have to abide by some of these rules still. So I could not just do that. You know what I mean?
I do. Have you, and this is a personal question, so you do not have to answer. Have you been vaccinated?
I have not. I have not been vaccinated yet. Every single time I go to sign up, they're like, "Oh, yikes, man! It looks like you're not eligible yet." And I'm like, "How the fuck am I not eligible yet?" So I don't really know. I just got my friend just sent me a text message actually like this in the last 10 minutes, and there's open availability now, and like they're taking appointments for next week and blah blah blah. So it looks like I'll be able to sign up and get my shot this week, and so it's like, okay, that's great. But yeah, I mean, I was very very hesitant about the whole thing. I am not. Now before I go into this, I need everybody to know, because there's 5 viewers, I am not an anti-vaxxer in any sense of the word. My son is vaccinated. I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. I am a little terrified of being an experiment. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm a little bit like, because there's no way of knowing long-term effects of this, you know? And so it's like, I understand outweighing the, you know, the pros and cons of getting COVID as opposed to blocking and not getting COVID and blah, blah, blah. And so I understand that, you know what I mean? But it's just like, when it comes to long-term effects of these vaccines, we don't know. Like, we don't know. And so everyone's just banking on, well, I mean, we've all got it. And I'm like, you know, we could all be dead in 6 months. We don't know what the fuck it is. So it's just, I mean, it's just, it takes a lot of faith, and it takes just a lot of like, here we go, you know, and I don't know that I'm 100% there yet. Will I get vaccinated? Sure. But it's weird that I got to that point, because the way that I got there is, why would I get vaccinated? Because a lot of places are going to require that you have it. And so it's like, now, you know, like we're complaining that things are opening up and blah, blah, blah. And this is happening because of the economy. When on the other page, now I'm considering getting the vaccination just so that I can go to places that are open, that take people that are only vaccinated, so that I can get paid, which is the fucking economy. So it's just this weird fucking cycle. And I'm like, oh my God, am I part of the problem? You know what I mean? So it's just been this internal battle, you know, because this is one of those things where people really are like, they're sticking to their guns, and it's like we are so for the vaccine, or other people are so against the vaccine, and it's like, I feel like I'm weirdly in the middle, you know, and then I don't feel safe enough to talk about that, which is another weird thing, because I'm like, I'm gonna get chastised and judged and da-da-da-da-da. So it's just a weird fucking time. I don't know.
I agree. I'm in the same place, and I think because the anti-vaxxers are so loud, it affected me, because I wanted the vaccine, but I was scared that, like, their nonsense terrified me, you know, and I had to be like, Suzette, you're being a stupid bitch. Like, you have lots of friends that are doctors and like nurses, and they're all getting it. Just get it. And so I will tell you this, Chelsea. Like, Apple and I just got it a week and a half ago.
I know, you messaged me from the place. I remember you guys
did.
got it.
You'll, because I was looking out for you, because I love you. So if you get the Johnson & Johnson, we can be your canary in the coal mine. And, you know, if we die, then you'll know it's coming at least.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, what a weird selling point.
Well, you know.
So I can get the Johnson & Johnson, so I know that, oh my God, in 2 weeks, I'm out. That's such a weird thing to say.
I haven't had any okay, so I've had 0 side effects. I had a fever dream that I was a blonde whore, and it made me very sore. Other than that, no side effects.
I don't know. It's just, it's weird. It's weird. Oh, Robert says I'm normal. Thank you, Robert. I needed that validation, because it's true.
Very
like,
normal.
I feel honestly, like, I feel like I'm fighting this battle alone. And I feel like every quote unquote, like, information piece that I read is more opinion based than anything else. And it's like, who the fuck can I trust right now? Like, I don't know. And so that's the part that's driving me absolutely insane, because it's like, everyone claims that they know, or the one that they got is better, or whatever. Like, it's just like, oh my God. And then there's talk of these like booster shots. So it's like, these shots are only going to be good for 6 months. And then it's like, Jesus Christ. So are we just going to be getting pierced like for the rest of our goddamn lives? Like, it's like, so it's just a very weird, like, unknown but everyone's really preaching everything that they don't know,
Yeah.
claiming that it's true. So it's weird.
No, I'm with you. I agree with you. I mean, I usually do because I think you're amazing and I think you're always right. But here, I totally am with you. I'm like, I don't know if this is the right thing, but I want to be able to go out. I want to be able to live life. Like if it's maybe safer than not getting it, like, and I just would rather get it and get it over with.
Right. And then I get mad, and then like I go back to, I want to go out and do things, and I want to be vaccinated, so I have the card and I can prove that I can be here and I can be around other people and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? But then I'm mad at myself because I'm like, do I want to do that just because I'm getting paid? Like, it's like, like, you know, like we've survived this year, and I could survive without. So it's just this weird battle that I'm going on. I'm getting very, very complimentary things, and like just like very, you know, they're telling me that I'm not by myself, which is great in the chat, and I really appreciate all you guys that are saying that. And I'm going to go back and read all of these comments because it's very, very good to know that people have resources that I can read and go to, because I do feel like that information, there's so much that it's really hard to be caught up on all the data and all this, because it's changing literally multiple times a day. Well, and it's like, how do I keep up with it? What do I follow? You know, who do I listen to? And so it's just a very confusing time. So I had no idea that we were going to be talking about this.
No, I was gonna tie it back, but two things really quick. So I'm gonna tell you why you're doing the right thing. And I'm going to tell you that I already said this today, too, and I'm just going to say Liz because you are aware of Liz because we talk about Liz a lot. And I told her I trust her instincts, right? And the same is true with you. Like, I trust your instincts, Chelsea Bearce. Like, if your gut says get it, then your gut is right. And if it says don't, then don't.
Right.
Because you're smart. You're a mom. Like, you're not going to do anything dumb, you know?
Right. I just, like, I do very much so have a carefree, go with the flow, like, yeah, sure, boom, boom, let's do anything, jump in with 2 feet kind of personality. I have that. I definitely do. But when it comes to something like this, I definitely want to know all the facts that I can before I do venture into something. Because like you said, I am a mom. I have to think about that little boy before I have to think about anything that deals with me, because the decisions that I make, even if it's for myself as an individual, will affect my son. Right. And so it's and there's a lot of people in my boat. There's a lot of people in my boat that, you know, are moms, that are single moms, that are this. So it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Well, the reason it came up is because I was actually going to ask you if you would have felt better going out to karaoke in El Paso if you had been vaccinated.
I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm not sure. Like, because even like I'm touring with Miles right now. I mean, touring, it's a weekend, but I'm on the road with Miles right now too, and he's only half vaxxed. So he, you know, he still has to get his second Pfizer shot, and so even he's not comfortable like going out because he's like, I'm not fully vaccinated yet, and I don't feel comfortable, you know. And I'm like, that's a good point, you know. So, but I don't know, you know, how I would feel even if I was vaccinated, because I wouldn't want to become reckless. Right. You know, like once I became vaccinated, sure, you know, I'm gonna keep the mask on, you know, because I mean, I'm just gonna keep the mask on.
Well, just I mean, at this point, it's like social, like it's a social consciousness. It's a respect. Like I'm still, you know, and it hasn't been 2 weeks, but I'm still gonna wear a mask. I'm still gonna get tested every week.
Right. Like, because I have heard that, you know, like even if you are fully vaxxed and after the 2 weeks and after your, you know, like it takes or whatever, you know, like even if you don't wear your mask or you don't get COVID, you're still able to carry it and pass it on to other people, even if you have the and it's like, okay, that's a very, very valid point, you know. And so it's just, I'm really, really worried about, you know, I mean, when this whole thing started, remember the people that would just like go to the beaches and they're like, you know, like fuck social distancing. And
remember, it's happening right now in Florida. You're not gonna ruin my spring break and da-da-da-da. Like, remember, like it was a big thing. And part of me worries that this is what's gonna happen is, you know, we're gonna get like just one little taste
of freedom, and then we're just gonna go like roaring 20s, balls to the wall, and then like the spikes will happen again, and we're just gonna have to start all this shit over again. Like that's a huge fear of mine, because I do see that happening. I don't know, maybe not.
Well, I think I'm in the same boat as you. I know I am. And if somebody hits me up again and they're getting shots, I'll hit you up in case your date hasn't come up.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know, but be safe. I'm glad you made safe choices in El Paso.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, it's like I got caught up on a lot of work. I was able to send all my emails out. I actually brought some bills. I paid those off. I watched a movie without being interrupted. I took a nap and a bath. Like it was like, this was dope. And I actually look at like comedy weekends. This is a time for me to get to have mom time, because when do I work? I work for 45 minutes once or twice a night. And so It's like my days are totally mine, and it's great. So I love being on the road. It's hard to be physically that far away from my child, but he's in good hands. I know that he's safe. We talk every single day. It's great. But when it comes to, time for myself, this is really the only time it happens is when I travel. Because if I'm at home, I'll give myself projects to do. I will just figure it out.
I know.
And I'll just keep myself completely overbooked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I do. So anyway.
Well, I don't want to hold you too long. You have a show.
I do. I need to go to, my show is in less than an hour. But,
okay.
But yeah, it's been really fun. I've been working out some new bits, which is great.
Awesome.
So I'm excited to, work those out. Miles has been very, very generous and recording all of our sets so that we can cut those up and have clips, because we're starting to, pop onto TikTok and just throw our content on there and stuff. And so it's been really nice. So it's been a very successful weekend. The staff likes me, so I think I'm going to get rebooked, which is great.
Yes.
So hopefully this will just be in my, my Rolodex of clubs that I work every year. And it's been a really good time. It's really nice to be on the road again and do comedy in an actual club. Like that's it's been really refreshing.
Well, selfishly, I'm very interested to talk to you off camera, not tonight, but later, and learn more about this club, because I am ready to get my show back on stage and have you close it out, or whatever you want it. You can just make it your show too. So I just want my show back, and I want to take it to El Paso.
I know. I absolutely know that. Yes. And this club is great. Yes. The staff is phenomenal. Yes. So it's definitely a possibility. The owner guy is super old school. Okay. So, like getting a hold of him and locking down dates and stuff like that is a little bit tricky.
Sure.
And Miles is, kind of, keeping me in the know of just how to get dates from this guy. And so it's because every club and every booker and every producer is completely different. Yeah. So it's just this Tetris game of figuring out the correct, the right thing for each one. And so it's a lot of work, but it's been really good. And tomorrow I travel. I have a crazy ass travel day tomorrow. And I'm praying to God I get home in time for Who Wrote This Shit. So check out Who Wrote This Shit live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And I think that's it. I have to go. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Peers and Queers, that was Chelsea Bearce. I was going to have her ask my next guest how I did at brunch, since she asked me. And do you get an honest assessment from me? Maybe, maybe not. Do you get an honest assessment from my next guest? Absolutely. So we're going to go right there. We're going to go to my next guest, and I'll just ask her what she thinks. Or her, him. Okay, yeah. I don't even, how should I even introduce you?
You can say Hellen.
Okay, I'll say Hellen Heels. Okay, so my next guest is someone that I admire, respect, love working with. Kills it all over California in drag. Does amazing, and I'm so excited to have Hellen in studio. Give it up, Peers and Queers, for Hellen Heels. It's weird with like no feedback, right? Like
Yeah.
you want somebody to be like, woo. Yeah, there's none. Hi, how are you?
I am good.
Okay. I know. I'm just for the viewers. I just saw you like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so in case anyone's watching, you show what you look like out of drag. So this isn't like a big secret.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Hellen out of drag. Boy face, Jonathan. Okay. I read all the comments. People think you're very cute.
I actually got hit on as I was leaving. And I was like, oh, I have to go.
Oh, I know. People want to talk to me, and I'm like, I've done another show. Can you watch it? Watch my show? Because I have to go. So you could find me there. Well, so that's good. I mean, you can go back. Did you get a number?
No, I'm not going back. But I did actually, like, I told them, I was like, if you want to see me, I am going to be on Twitch in like 20 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you for the promotion.
So come on, plug.
Okay, so I know how you are because I work with you. We've been doing brunch for, I mean, really, realistically, like 2 years now. Yeah. But we've been really going hard weekly now for, what, like 9 months?
Yeah.
Almost a year.
Last summer.
Since August, so 8 months. So I see, and then I try to practice and learn anything I can whenever you have time. So I see you all the time, so I don't need the pleasantries. But Chelsea asked me how I did at brunch, and I try to be honest all the time and transparent about my performances and sometimes struggles and sometimes successes, both in comedy and in drag. And I told her today, so do you remember when she came to the show?
Yeah.
Okay, I call that day my Make-A-Wish day because because it was like I had an idea and I went for it. I really did. But it felt like the crowd was like, okay, you won a contest or you're dying and you got this. Nice. Can we see the other people now? So that's my like bottom, right?
Interesting word.
It's my bottom performance. We won't talk about my other bottoms. So I told her, like, I don't want my, because I think we talked about this on your show, right? And I said that I don't want my, and if anyone's watching and they don't know your show, it's called Let's Have a Look. It's on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. It's on Twitch at Hellen Heels. Your information is below you right now, so if anyone's watching, they can see your Instagram handle. So we talked about this on your show. I want my days where I'm not so confident to still be like, okay, bitch, you brought it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I want, like, and like I might secretly, or maybe to you, Apple and Taryn, be like, oh, I didn't feel good about today. But I want everyone else to be like, okay, that's still a motherfucking queen, right? And I felt like today, like I did that. And that's what I told Chelsea. Like I didn't feel like it wasn't, am I going to tell people like, oh, you should have seen me on April 18th? Maybe not, right? Like I've had those, but like Halloween, I still think about that. I killed Halloween. Like I killed it. You're like, I don't remember at all.
I remember you didn't remember the choreography for the group number.
I didn't kill the group number. I killed my own number.
Yeah.
I don't do well with choreo. I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm trying.
Yes.
But anyway, so that was my assessment. Would you like to, and you can be as honest and visceral as you want.
I thought you did great today. I thought your looks were conceptual.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's not, I mean, I've also done the song Physical, and I've done it in high heels. And I just was like, if I could have got away with sneakers, I would have done that a long time ago. Can you cuss on this show?
Yeah.
Okay, I would have done that shit a long time ago.
That's what you're gonna shit? That's your cuss word?
Yes. Oh,
you're so chaste.
Well, I work with kids,
Uh-huh.
so the problem is that, like, when I'm around normal human beings, like, I'll say things like snickerdoodle or fudge or dagnabbit, and they're like, dagnabbit, what year were you born?
Actually, like, I know how old are you using dagnabbit?
We're not saying.
I know.
But I thought you did great because I thought your first one was conceptual. I liked it when you ran from the parking lot.
It elevated it.
Now, would I have preferred you to do like a cartwheel or something? Yes. Could you have stretched ahead of time? Yes. But it was great. It was fun. It was a good song for you. And then your second number, you looked gorgeous. It was a great song. It was a good one for you. And I feel like your stage presence is getting stronger. So today, I think you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know you were after me, so I was like, I got to actually watch.
Right. And I said this to you in the dressing room, but like, because sometimes newer performers or performers about where I am watch the show. And so I think it's important to mention that, like, and I'm not going to name names, but somebody the other day told me, like, I don't want to go after Hellen. And I said, look, here's the thing. Hellen is Hellen, right? In this moment, actually, Jonathan is Hellen, but Hellen is Hellen. And you're not going to be Hellen. No one's Hellen but Hellen. But no one's you but you. Like, be you. And I think sink or swim for me, right? Doing brunch with, like, 3 icons, like you, Taryn, and Apple. It's like, get better or don't. But, like, you got to go one direction.
Ooh, One Direction. Love them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know any of the band members, but I thought about that when I said it, and I was like, "Oh, Harry Styles, is that One Direction?"
Yeah.
Oh, I did it. I'm so good at this. Anyway, so I fully attribute any growth I have to, like, just working with the 3 of you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
We can stop talking about me now. It was slightly uncomfortable, but thank you for your kind words. I just was going to ask you to say it to Chelsea, and then she had to go. But they're doing comedy shows now again. I'm so excited.
In person?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, in Texas.
That's well.
They're doing them in person
Tell
here in
me
California.
it's like down the street.
It's down the street at Last Unlimited.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Coming soon to Stab Comedy?
That's a question, Jesse. Do you maybe? Yeah, I mean, it's I'll answer. I mean, we haven't talked about this, but I'm gonna assume that this is a smaller venue, so it's,
Yeah, space wise, I get
right.
it.
25% of this is 10 people, and
That's you being generous there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I'm going to start working in the backyard. I'm going to try and make that finally happen.
Really? That would be badass.
Gonna try, but I'm going to try and be modest about it because I don't want to infringe upon the other neighbor. We're gonna like fence off our own
There's
space.
nothing back there.
Yeah, but
There's
still
nothing
people
great back there.
what's really funny is I mentioned to Taryn that might happen, and like, because like, we're all kind of invested in Stab, right? Like, we do shows here, and like, you guys love me, and people watch the show and support it. And I was like, oh yeah, there's a backyard, but like, like, it might not all be for Jesse. And Taryn was like, fuck that, do the show. So
Well, no, seriously, like, I mean, it looks, when you come in here, it looks amazing. Like, there's light grids, there's the TV, there's a bunch of different colors. It's really fun in here. You go, like, literally around the corner, it's like poverty just around the corner. And it's beautiful houses and stuff like that, but the businesses, the backyards are, ooh.
I don't know how to I'm gonna sidestep responding, but I do want to say at some point, this will be in front of people. Like, this show will be in front of people with a live studio audience.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So you have to come back,
Yeah.
but you
Like
have
an
to
actor studio, but like drag.
yeah, but try to be more beautiful than me.
So be in drag.
Yeah, just because, like, like, I'm pretty, but like, you're you, so you could be pretty too.
I'll try. I'll do my
Unless you're gonna get hit
best.
on, and then I guess get hit on, whatever.
You know what? I love being in drag and then being out of drag right afterwards, only for the fact that it's such a departure, like my look wise, that people are like, oh, you're a cute guy. And I'm like, yeah. So all that dirty talk you were talking, to Hellen about, throw some of that this way.
Well, that's not weird though, right? Because, like, attractive people are attractive, right? So
No. Okay.
no.
Not in my opinion. Okay. In drag, I feel like you can be a gorgeous girl.
Okay.
And then sometimes if you're a pretty boy, it translates. But sometimes ugly men turn into like beautiful women.
Really?
Yes. And so
You want to name names? Yeah. You don't have to.
I got a list. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's
It's
just
on
that,
Google
like,
Keep.
it's good. It's a testament to their makeup skills because they look beautiful. So you automatically assume, oh, you're going to look like a beautiful man, or you're going to have like great male features. And then they take the makeup off and they look like Mr. Potato Head. And then you're like, what the happened? So I don't always think that beauty translates beauty, I think I'm an adorable guy. I will
No.
never get, ooh, you look like a sexy man, because I look like a 13-year-old. But I'm okay with cute.
Okay.
I'm okay with cute,
Okay.
and I'll take it because when they think that I'm a sexy woman
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm a cute guy, they're like, oh, okay, this works.
So you're like at 7 as a guy. Like we'll say cute is like a 7.
Yeah.
Is that
6,
fair?
7.
And you're like a how like at 9 as it?
I'm a 9 as a woman because of confidence.
Mm.
I think if you have confidence and you can't let nobody tell you, like you have to go back to like drag roots where it was like, you can't tell me nothing, honey. I'm beautiful. Touch this skin, touch all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go back to that and you instill that kind of confidence in yourself, you're beautiful and nobody can tell you otherwise. So when you always ask like, well, how do I look? And you do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you're as beautiful as you want to be. If you tell me you're beautiful, I will believe it. Who am I to say otherwise?
I got that I looked good today like 10 times, and I was
Well,
like,
then
oh,
you look
okay.
good. But then when people say you look good, girl, they'll say thank you. Oh my God. I mean, you can thank somebody, but then, as a drag queen, your response internally should be, I know. Girl, you don't have to tell me. I know. I own a mirror.
I am not humble about my legs and feet and toes. Like those, I'm like, yeah, no. Like I'm like, thank you, thank you. No, I mean, I just know what I got, right? I know my best features, and so like when people are like, "You're pretty," I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you." And then they're like, "And your legs," and I'm like, "Oh fuck, the humble isn't even here." Like, yeah, I know they're great. Like we all wish we had these. What was I gonna say? Oh, just in case anyone's watching and doesn't understand the reference you made, touch the skin, touch all of this. Paris is Burning. Go watch it. It's
on YouTube for free.
On YouTube for free. It's worth the watch. Like you need to watch it. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, watch. Not now because I'm talking to Hellen, and so you need to finish watching this. But later, Paris is Burning. Okay. There's so many things to follow up, but I have you for a limited amount of time, so I want to jump into right into Draglands season 2. It's coming, and for anyone that doesn't know, you, Hellen Heels, hosted and produced a drag competition reality show that aired last summer on Work, that's Work with 3 R's, work.com, and on their YouTube, Work with 3 R's. And it was a legit big deal. Like it was, and it's going to be a big deal again. Did I leave anything out or say anything wrong?
No.
Okay. All right. So season 2 is coming.
Yes.
You already announced that.
Yes.
But like we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay. When can fans expect to see the season air?
I can't say.
Ballpark.
Ballpark around the same time as last year.
Okay.
Our filming is done in secret. And I can say that it will probably be around August, September.
Okay.
Again, it premiered at the end of August of last year. So it went into October.
Right.
So around that time, just because we have to film still.
Mm-hmm.
And then people think that post-production is just you throw it into a blender and hit frappe and everything comes out beautiful. It doesn't.
No.
And when you have Suzette Veneti as a host on your show, as loud as you think the bitch really is in life, you realize that you have to turn her volume key up like 3 times to get her to human voice standards.
Okay, well, so again, next time I do it, I will, because I'm always a little shy when I start something new, because I can, like, you know me at this point. Like I said, like we've been working together 2 years, really closely for almost a year. Like I can easily dominate a conversation, easily.
Understatement.
Yeah, but I try not, like, I don't want to just walk into someone else's show, especially shows like, oh my God, I've done some Zoom shows where it's like everyone's like, I did this one show, I think I told you about it. Yeah, I did everyone. But no, I did a show where, and Alex Shoemaker's doing a show here. Okay, so I did this show with this local comic, and you watch bad movie clips, and then you just riff on them.
Oh my God, I want to be a part of that.
Well,
that would be my shit.
Alex is watching. He should contact you.
Alex, contact Hellen Heels. I would love to be a part of that. You know what'll help that problem of yours?
What?
Public speaking.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've seen me do stand-up.
I know, that was a joke.
No, I know. I think, but honestly, like I felt a shift in like how you viewed me after you saw me do stand-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you do great comedy.
Thank you.
I think your comedy is very specific. Like I think it's like so
Very dry.
yeah. But the great thing about that is that like I also after watching you do comedy for the first time,
Mhm.
I felt like nobody could do your comedy, which is great because that makes you, you know, a person that like can
Unique.
only yeah.
Yeah, that is important in comedy. Like you want to tell your story, and like if your story is the same as everyone else's, then like just listen. It's like we were talking about Mercury today. Like no one else can be Mercury. People need to quit trying to be Mercury Rising.
I don't know. I saw a garbage can on the way over here.
Sure, no, and I'm sure that one was serving, but on the drag floor, like
Yeah, no, nobody does Mercury
Right.
like Mercury.
and
but-
no one does you, and no one does Taryn, and no one does like you got to be your. So
but a
that is
single
important.
joke. Thanks,
What?
because nobody does us.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. That's too real. Let's
Too
not
dark.
laugh about that. So you've done comedy before. I'm getting way off topic now. An hour is not going to be enough. We're going to have you back.
I'm not looking down because I'm looking at the time. I'm looking down because there's a gentleman that's trying to like come over later.
Okay. No,
Like
you do,
later though.
You
so
do
don't-
you.
don't-
You do you.
No, I
Helen.
want to do him. That's why I'm just making sure that we're
You do him.
staying
Oh, I
communication.
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Communication is key in a
Communication
relationship.
is key in a
It is.
relationship. Okay, couple things. So I want you can pick which direction. I was going to talk about you doing stand up, or I was going to talk about post production. Actually, I just put a pin in it. I want to ask you about shooting a video with you. I'm finally want to do it. So
She wants to get me on camera saying yes, so that she can be like, "You said it on camera, girl, to the world."
yeah. Do you love me? Yes. And you're like, I was saying yes to like agreeing to do. Suzette, go away. But yeah, no. So we can talk about post production. We can go right back into the Draglands, and we can put a pin in the other stuff.
Okay, ask me about comedy.
Okay. So you've done stand up comedy.
Yes.
Okay. Do you? No, you have. You did.
I mean, I have, but like, I don't think it's near the capacity like that regular comedians do.
Well, no, but I mean, it's like when I did After Hours. We talk about After Hours a lot on this show because Apple's on, and then we talk about beginning
Yeah.
drag. So when I started After Hours, was that at the level that I'm doing brunch now? Fuck no. Like, it wasn't, you know? And if anyone else is like, it could be, like, that's their journey to live. I'm talking about my own drag at After Hours and what I'm doing now. Not even close. Although I did surprise you with my very first song the other day. It was not Marina. It was Joan Jett.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was a shocker.
Uh-huh. I know I don't always do Marina.
No, it's not that. It's just that it is staple for a lot of new drag queens to be like, oh, what song should I do? Prima Donna, Heartbreaker. And I know you've done both of those songs.
You know what my favorite one is to do, though? My favorite Marina song? Oh,
What?
no.
Oh no. That does sound like a you song.
It is a me song.
Yeah.
It was the first one I did for my Queens and
It's because
Comedy
it's
show.
theatrical.
It is. And
Yeah.
I probably did a really terrible job the first time I did it.
We'll do it again.
I will do it
Redemption
again.
art, girl.
You know what? Maybe at brunch. So you've done stand up.
Okay.
I know you did because you did my show. The shoe is on the other foot,
Yes.
right? Or the shoe show. Would you want to do stand up again?
Yeah. To be honest with you, it was definitely the plan last year. So to rewind to 2019 in December,
Mhm.
my plan was to do comedy the next year. And I think I started asking you, getting the wheels turning about like, okay, what comedy shows are out there for like amateurs or for
Mhm.
people, stuff like that. And not to like steal your thunder, but like I would do it in drag, just because Hellen is like, she's a nut all on her own.
Yeah.
Right. And so that the wheels were turning for that. And then eventually the goal was to do like a one-woman show. And I still have intentions to do a one-woman show, even if I'm the only woman there. So, right.
Right.
Hey, I got a lot of gay men followers.
I was going to say lots of men's.
Lots of men's.
Lots of men's in the audience.
Yes, Mensa for Mensa. So that's still a goal,
Okay.
is to do it as a regular thing, and not because I'm like, I think I'm funny. Like I do internally think I'm funny, and I think that I have enough shit to say
Okay.
that would merit like, okay, you've got 5 to 7 minutes, go for it.
So yeah, I mean that's actually like That's a good starting point because there are
I
a
know,
lot
I
of
did my
new
homework.
there are a lot of new comics who are like, I have an hour. Like I'm sure Jesse has encountered this. I have an hour, and it's like, no, you have an hour of thoughts, but like that's not an hour of material. You need to practice that and find what's good, and then that you keep. And so,
Have you ever had a comedian here where you were like, why did I take that chance?
I mean, most of those, I like to think I'm pretty good at seeing before they get above like.
So you
an
scout
open
ahead
mic.
of time?
Usually, yeah. For the most part, I try and especially I know when we come back, I'm gonna have even less patience than I've had in the past. So.
I mean, yeah, a lot. They wouldn't really get booked because you want to know who you're booking, right? Like you don't just book like, oh, you have a funny sounding name, sir. You know, so you try to catch them at an open mic or catch a set that they do somewhere else, and you can tell pretty easily like how
frequently would you go to comedy shows?
Go to comedy shows?
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic, probably 4 or 5 nights a week.
Dang.
Go, not in.
No, but I'm saying go.
Yeah. But I don't get booked. Just like in drag, I don't get booked. Like people think I get booked all the time. I'm like, no, I do my own shows. I don't get booked ever.
Well, that's the thing. I've always, I'll say this till the day that you're dead. Whenever that
you get my
is.
clothes when it happens.
No, I don't want your clothes.
Some of them you said you do. I'm putting you on blast.
I'm a kind person.
I'm putting you on. No, that transparent rain jacket.
Okay, that's the one thing I want.
Okay.
Is that I enjoy the fact that when you say I don't get booked, I don't get a lot of gigs, girls don't want me, I don't do blah blah blah, that you've always paved your own avenue. Like you said, okay, I know what I'm good at. I've got this shtick. So instead of waiting for people to see the fire and the quality of my work, I'm going to just make it. And here you are, and you do this show regularly, and it's like, good on you, because you didn't need anybody's permission to just do you. Now, sometimes I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but it doesn't matter, because the only person that has to know and care is you, confidently, as you continue to do them without people's permission. And that's what makes you also, unlike a lot of other people, you know, who need that validation point or that popularity point. It's like they're waiting. They're still waiting. You've never waited. And that's where you're gonna be leagues above a lot of these bitches.
So how did that work for you? Were you booked right when you started?
No, I waited.
You waited?
No.
Okay.
No, I put in the work, and I just knew from the beginning. I always told myself, and it's to this day I tell myself the same thing: this is not life. This is not real life. This is make-believe. And for me, if I want to make make-believe turn into something I can work with for the so many odd years, this has to be something more important than just popularity or being beautiful or having the best outfits or whatever. So I turned this into a business venture of mine. And as long as I keep that headspace that this is always going to be about business first and not about, social climate or social need
making friends.
Yeah. I mean, I've made friends, obviously. I've made sisters and bonds and stuff like that. I've made many, many men bonds. But this is always
it's what the men give you that bonds.
Yeah.
It's very sticky.
But it's always going to be a business venture to me, and that way I know that whatever I do, I have to be successful. I'm not always going to be 100%, but I'm always going to give it my best, so that the success rate, is always higher. I want to have like a good drag credit score, if you will.
Oh, I've never heard anyone reference that. I like that concept, like a drag credit score.
Yeah.
Would you like it if comedians had comedian credit scores?
Well, I mean, I think, and I'll speak for myself, but I think other people keep those scores in their head.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you know what you think about.
That's true.
About people, and whether, and just like any credit score, it's different from company to company.
Right, right. That's why you have to get 3 different reports.
I'd like to dispute that.
Well, not only that, but okay, if you think about it too, The people that are sitting around waiting for things to happen to them, they have ghost credit. It's not that they don't have any credit. It's just that they don't have great credit.
Yeah. Look
You know,
at this
nothing bad, nothing
analogy.
good.
I
I
like
know.
this.
This is turning into a small businesswoman's dinner.
Hellen Heels teaches how to get a good drag credit score.
Mama, I could give a seminar on.
Could you?
Yeah, that'll be my one-woman show. How to be successful at this shit.
Yeah. I want to teach one on. I'm legit. I've thought about this. I'm gonna do. Honestly, I'd like it to be like a 7-week, 8-week, like once a
Workshop.
week seminar on how to produce a show.
See, I think that would be great for you.
I want.
If
to.
you told me you wanted to teach people how to like dance, I'd be like, oh, she's a comedian. But if you told me something like that, that's something I can believe in and I would invest in because you've already done it.
Right.
And you haven't done it just once or twice. You've done it like 7 times. You won't die.
I know.
So
I worm my way into
you
your heart.
did.
Yeah, I know.
And that's okay. You are literally friends and you are a co-host with the most prolific drag queen in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she doesn't like to talk to half the people that she meets, much less take on, friendships and or co-host duties with somebody. You have to be
Co-producing.
you have to be very, very close. And you just came out of nowhere, like a bat out of hell, and you just hit the ground running, and you threw those things at her, and she just attached herself to them. And
It was slower than that, honestly. The first time I met Taryn is who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Cause I don't think people understand how her memory is so, it's amazing. Like, she remembers everything. I was voting for a court event and she was like, "Oh, I've seen you." And I was like, "What? You know who I am?" And then the next time was like a year later. And I wanted to do a show that I still want to do.
Was it the Rose Show?
It was. And so I had to hunt her down and be like, I have this idea. I think it'd be good. Can we do it at the bar? And that's really the first time I ever talked to her. So
It's a good idea. I love a good roast. I love a good roast.
mm-hmm.
I could roast everybody. No one is safe.
Well, and we will do. I've done 2
In
roast
fact,
battles.
let's scrap this entire interview.
You just wanna
We'll
roast me?
each other.
Okay.
No. Kidding.
No, I'm scared to.
See, it's the fear factor.
You
I
know too much
love
about
that.
me.
I
You've
know.
seen
Oh.
everything.
Oh, people! I'll post it up on WikiLeaks.
So, the drag queen roast battle. I call it "Bitches Be Sensitive." I want it to come back, and I hope that you do it. And I just want to be the host.
See, the thing that I told you to do from a business perspective.
Uh-huh.
See, we can compliment each other.
We can.
Is I thought you should have done it, because how often were you doing it?
It was just when we could do it. There was no regularity.
See,
to it.
you needed to make it like a consistency thing. It needed to be like the first Saturday of the month, and it needed to be like a 2-hour thing, and it had to be right before a show.
Absolutely.
That way you leech off of that audience, but at the same time you bring something fun while people are just kind of moseying in.
So here's the production, and this is you'll get an insight into my producing brain. So the people involved are drag queens, and drag queens don't show up for free and for, on a random night, right? So it's not leeching the audience so much as leeching the performers. Oh, are you all going to do the sleigh ground? 8 of you? Cool. Let's do a show right before that. Because everyone's in drag. They're already in face.
You know what I want to instill in you now that you've gone this far into your drag career? I want to instill in you, you're doing the thing that you weren't supposed to be doing, or that you weren't doing, is you're asking for permission. Sometimes when you have a status, or sometimes when you've gotten so far someplace, you don't make it seem like it's oh, this would be really great if you did this, or I think that you're really you tell people it is to your benefit and your best interest. I think you're hilarious. You need to be on this show.
Mm-hmm.
You just tell them how good they are, even if they suck ass. You tell them how good they are. They all want to feel good like that. All drag queens.
Mm-hmm. All performers.
Yeah, but you were reaching for the heights, girl. I
was.
remember you were asking some big names to come for a non-paying weekday show, and it was a hard sell. And I told you to start from the bottom.
You did, but that's why it couldn't be recurring, because people were like, I don't know. But if you get, and I mean, we don't have to talk about this that much because right now it's not even happening.
Yeah.
But if the big names do it, then it's gonna be magical, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't think that half of the big names you chose anyway would have been funny.
Well, but I mean,
because there's a difference between roasting and being a bitch.
Well, so but that's for the judges to decide, right?
Yeah, but you still want. I mean, you've been to 4 to 5 comedy shows a week.
Uh-huh.
You should know that not all comedy would make a good set.
I am aware.
Even if it's comedy, right?
No, I'm aware.
Yeah. Some of those people, I don't believe at the time where I didn't believe that they would give good roasts. I think they would just come off as bitches.
Well, I also offered to, and nobody took me up on it in the 2 shows we did, but I also offered to pair queens with comics who had roast battle experience.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not
it's
saying
like giving people homework.
Oh, I know it's but you don't have to. That's the thing. Like if you want to,
we're gonna make this a thing. We're gonna make
it a thing.
Yes.
It's a good thing.
You partner with me, Taryn or Apple, and we'll say jump. They'll say how high.
Okay.
I will make that dream for you come true for you, since
because they won't.
You're
say
on your last leg.
I'm right because I'm dying. I got the Johnson & Johnson shot. So
no, don't say that.
This is the last Suzette Veneti show.
Don't
Chelsea
say
Bearce will be
that.
taking over.
Have you
next
had
week.
any shots yet?
Yeah, I got my first Moderna on Tuesday. So,
How do you feel?
I mean, I'm fine now, but it
sucked, huh?
It wasn't bad. It was just really tired the next day. That was all I had on that one.
Wait for the second
Oh, yeah,
one.
the second one's going to be bad.
I got the Moderna one. The second one, I felt like I was legit dying. I was popping Tylenol like candy.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be not great. But I was super tired that second day. It was crazy.
You just got to tell yourself, like, it's working.
Yeah.
When you're rolling your body out of your bed.
Apple and I never felt anything. We were good.
It must be nice.
I got the guy he gave me a Band-Aid and it was a bear and he was like, "Are bears okay?" And I was like, "Usually I don't date bears, but it's fine."
You're so stupid.
Okay, so you and comedy, I would
Yes.
like you to do it because and when it comes back, like I'm and you're not taking that's the thing. Like I try to get everybody to do it that wants to.
Yeah, no, there's
but
room for everybody at the table.
You're not taking like my shtick. Like you're not taking my bit. Like I am Suzette, right? You are Hellen.
Yeah, unless I can have the Hellen Heels show at Stab Comedy, that would be nice.
I mean, you have to have a cartoon, and it has to be a weird time.
Oh, Mama, give me 20 minutes. I'll get an
You
artist
would,
on
I know
this.
somebody, and it'll blow me out of the water. But I want to support you. I want to see you, and more now than ever because you've supported me and helped me get better. So like I want to be there for you if that's what you want.
Sure.
So okay.
It feels like one of those like 12 steps. It's like, now tell them how you feel.
Oh, I
support
just
them.
still drink. I don't know anything about the steps. Yeah,
okay.
the steps that I stumble.
It's one of them.
Okay. Okay. So we'll go back to Into the Draglands because
right.
I'm running out
that
of time
I can
with you.
answer. I can answer questions about that.
Okay.
Go for it.
But you've been very complimentary, so I will say thank you.
You're welcome. Don't get used to it.
I am not. I'm a little bit stunned.
And you know that my tough love is to build backbone.
Always, yeah.
I saw your doctor report. Girl, you need more backbone.
I do. I need a better posture. Okay, so they can expect to see it at the end of the summer. Post-production is not easy. Post-production takes a lot of shooting is easy usually. I mean, and what you're doing where you're shooting 9 drag queens?
Okay.
8? Okay. A number above 5 maybe. Yes. Drag queens performing and competing, and then judges. That's not easy to coordinate, but it's easy to actually film once the bodies are there.
Well, I think you were. No, you weren't. Okay. Well, you kind of were.
I was there. Yeah, I was there a whole day.
No. During the filming process of the girls. And Clive. There is no stopping. That's the thing about it, is that during filming itself, it was like, okay, people are filming their numbers probably once, probably twice. And then they were filming backstage stuff, and they were filming confessionals, and they had to do sponsor ads, and then they had to go take pictures outside. Like it was just a nonstop go. So a lot of the performers thought in the first season, because obviously it was a brand new thing.
Mm-hmm.
They assumed that it was just going to be like, okay, we film us tap dancing once and I'm good to go. And it was completely not that. But I kind of like that. I like where stuff is like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Because then it gives them a sense of rush and adrenaline. It makes them seem like they're doing a lot more than what they're really doing.
That's completely your style to go, go, go. So can you say when filming starts?
I can say it starts soon.
Okay.
It'll probably start within the next month.
Okay. What are you doing differently this season 2, than what you did the first season?
Well, all of the categories will be different. They will have ties to the old categories, but they are definitely not going to be the old categories. They'll be a little bit more specific. And also the biggest change that came about, and I hope anybody that watches this will know that from the audience's feedback, I want to justify something, but at the same time, this is the difference, is there'll be live judge feedback for each performances. The eliminations are still going to be unbeknownst to the competitors. However, they will have live feedback, so that way they can improve on something if there is something that they're messing up on or not doing, well.
Yeah.
Last year, people were like, this isn't fair. The judges are just going off of blah, 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 blah. So we eventually had to add the criteria into the feed of the show. And on top of that, people didn't understand that we recorded you judges separately, because at the time, Sacramento, literally, we filmed 4 days in a row, all the episodes with all the contestants. And then the next week, Sacramento closed.
Right.
Closed the hell up. And most of the Central Valley did. It was at one of those peaks. And so what we had to do was we had to film the judges separately so that we could have a smaller body count in the building. But on top of that, just because it was easier to maintain 4 human beings as it was to because we had the film crew, we had the runners, we had the performers. So at any given time, there was a good 14 people, and we had to knock that down to the 4 people doing judging. I didn't even let you film us.
Mm-hmm.
I just set up the camera and filmed the table.
Right.
Right. So this year is different. The biggest difference is going to be the fact that if they feel they have something to say to the judges, they can talk back.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh
watch
my.
what you say.
Well, so I actually, as a judge on your show, I felt very there were things that I said that were maybe a little saltier that didn't make the final cut.
You did. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people started getting upset with the direction the judges were going in each of the episodes, because they were like, these judges are just ripping into them. These judges don't know blah blah blah. That's the internet for you, right? They're never gonna like anything that they don't agree with.
As judges, we should just say, "Oh, that was great."
Yeah.
Can you imagine how terrible I would be?
Well, here's the thing. So I had to change the direction of the post for what the judges said. And if you look back at those last 3 or 4 episodes, you'll see that the commentary got friendlier. It's not because the judges got friendlier.
Right.
It's because I didn't want it to seem like you guys were bad guys. I didn't want backlash on the judges, because for the first 4 episodes, people were going in on the judges, and I didn't want that, because I didn't want anybody coming after the judges. They were just asked to do a job.
Right.
You guys were asked to do something based off of a form, and I used you guys as backgrounds. You had a comedy background, so I had to do the comedy show. So, but again, internet people don't always agree with those, and so I didn't want them coming for you guys. So I changed the edits so that you guys were nicer, because that's the magic of post-production, is that you can make anybody seem like a villain or a saint. And so I don't think anything you said was nasty. I did cut you off on a lot of things because it seemed like you said your point and then you kind of continued explaining, which is good. The problem is that it just makes it seem like you're a bigger bitch the longer you talk about how something didn't go right.
Right. I mean, it is tough. And I think it's as a judge on your show, like I only wanted people to do better, or I wanted to explain why they didn't score better, you know, and to just be like, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's not helpful. You know, I wouldn't be good at anything if people were just like, like I want to know what I did wrong. I want to know what I did right. Personally.
Right. Suzette Veneti is the queen of I want to know what I did right or wrong, whether you want to give it to her or not. She will choke it out of you.
Not a drag queen, but a queen of information. Well, okay, so I felt I'll just say, like, in case anyone's watching and they were like, comedy's subjective, and I felt very qualified to judge the comedy episode.
Yeah, I think that there's people that I find like hilarious, but that doesn't mean that they're qualified to be a comedy judge. Like, you talked about things in a technical way, as opposed to somebody that just knows how to like burp jokes. You know, like that's not a skill. That's more of just like you have a great sense of humor, but you were able to contribute technicality stuff that a normal person wouldn't have been able to. So that's why I knew it's not because you're my sister or my niece or whatever. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the fact that I knew you knew what the fuck you were talking about.
I just like that you acknowledged that. But yes, no, I felt very at first when you told me, I was like, oh, I don't know if people are gonna dig that, like the concept of me being a judge. But then you told me like what I was judging, and I was like, oh. Well, I don't, and I guess you'll be proud of this because in the moment I was like, I really don't care how people feel. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you did the comedy and the live episode because that is what you do.
Right.
And more than anything, not only are you like a comedian, but you're a live host too. Like, you know how to like roll with the punches and you know how to fill dead space. Who is more qualified?
I really don't think many people like.
I don't think many people either.
Especially like. That came up a lot, like, and last time you were on this show was May of the pandemic, right? So it was like really early into the pandemic.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of streaming shows were happening, and they still are kind of out there, but not as much. Like, it was everyone and their like sister had a streaming show. But I think what I noticed was being a good host is not filling time. It's knowing when to not fill time.
Right.
Like, filling time is the skill that you fall back on when something goes fucked, you know? Like at brunch the other day, something happened and I got like this signal, and like it was funny because Sean was giving it to me and he was like, I think that means talk longer, and I was like, that's what that means.
It happened today.
Did it to you?
Because Liz's outfit fell apart literally as I was going, give it up for Liz, and her outfit snapped and somebody had to help her put it back on. So he was like, she's not ready. So me, who was already walking my happy ass to the side, getting ready to just like chill, hopped right back up. And I was like, y'all, you did not give her enough love for her to come out here and do this. And obviously, you know, she looked like Valentina. So Valentina, I was like, okay, this is a perfect way to stall.
Right. Well, and then there's a couple of ways you can stall. Like, you can be transparent, or you can be like, you can just be sneaky about it and like you were, and that's not I'm not saying sneaky in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's a skill, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, I noticed with a lot of these streaming shows, a lot of hosts of these streaming shows were like, look at me talk for 7 minutes about nothing. And it's like, I don't care. Like, just show me the fucking performance. Like,
the ones that I hate though is the ones that they talk and talk, and then they haven't watched the video. So they're like, she's amazing, she's epic, she's gonna be dancing crazy, she's the dancing diva, and then she does like this depressing ass ballad on the video. Yes, that was fierce, amazing. It's like, girl. And then they've now at this point reached like 7 minutes worth of talking about something they didn't watch. That drives me absolutely bonkers.
You know, and Apple is really good at that, because I was talking to someone and they were like, oh, Apple hosts live when she hosts streaming shows. And I was like, no, she doesn't. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, no, she doesn't. And they were like, no, but she knows what's going on and she like talks about it. I was like, because Apple's a good fucking host.
Yeah.
Like, she knows what she's doing, and she does her research, or she hedges her bets with what she says, which is
Right.
something that we all have. Like, you know, you can't tell the crowd exactly what I'm going to do, but you also don't want to, like, sell them something that's not going to happen, you know? And sometimes you don't know what I'm wearing or what I'm going to come out with, so you kind of hedge.
Right.
So, okay. Back to ITD, because I'm running out of time with you. Okay. You're accepting applications currently until the 29th of April.
See.
Who should apply?
You.
Am I judging again? Because that would be awkward.
Go give yourself a perfect score.
Or be really hard on myself.
If you're out there and you want to apply, you should apply if you, first of all, if you meet the criteria. There is a long list of criteria.
Okay.
You have to be 21.
Uh-huh.
You have to either had your vaccination shots or be COVID free and be willing to take a COVID test, and quarantine the weekend before. You have to be able to be available for lots of dates, because filming is not just like, oh, I go and it's done. It's like days long processes.
Yeah.
And you also, so you should apply if you think that you have enough drag to compete. So I encourage baby performers or new performers to do it. However, I don't encourage it if you're like, oh, well, I just got my first 2 costumes and I have 3 wigs. That's not going to cut it. Like, this is a multi-episode show.
Right.
You have to already have a resume and or drag closet accessible, because one of the rules is you're not allowed to buy new drag once you get cast. So that keeps the playing field fair.
Now, what if somebody completely missed the target on what you just said, and they just wore the same outfit for everything? Is that against the rules, or is that just like do it at your own risk?
It's not against the rules. It's do it at your own risk. Everybody signs the same contract, and they all know what the risk is. This year, oh, that's another big thing this year. Everybody has to take a mental health evaluation form.
Okay, why?
Because last year it was a lot of pressure. This also goes into who should apply. You should apply if you can handle the pressure. If you can fall gracefully, you know, if you get eliminated, that's going to be your savior, because lots of people are going to root for you and lots of people are going to love on you. But our harshest critics are ourselves. And when people see themselves, especially if they have bigger egos, if they see themselves doing bad on the show, or they hear something from the judges they don't like, or if they're in the bottom, or if they get eliminated, they take it personally. And then it fucks with their mental health. And I'm not trying to put on this show to fuck with somebody's mental health. A lot of our contestants last year got down on themselves, and some of them cracked under the pressure. Some of them fought with other contestants. Even though that makes great TV, it's not what this show was made for.
You're very anti-reality television here.
It's not that I'm anti-reality television. I think that as drag queens, we already make good television. But there's no need to burn the house down while you're there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I want to follow up really quick. Okay. Drag queens make good television. Do you think that about all?
No.
Okay. Because I think that's one of my, as a comedian, like somebody who does stand-up comedy, that's one of my pet peeves is like everyone's like, oh, I got a wig and I got some heels. I'm funny. And it's like, no.
No. Okay. So I think that drag queens make good television. I think producers make good storylines and bad storylines. And I think that a bad combination of the two can equal out to be terrible. You know, you do unfortunately have producers that will chum up a person, but it's because they want to make fun of them.
Right.
And I'm not down with that.
Did you ever watch Unreal?
Yes. Yes.
So good.
That.
So
So
good.
for me, if you're going to apply knowing that you have enough shit to back it up with, that you have the confidence. The confidence will help you more than anything. And just know that you can take it if it's dished.
Okay. So that answers my next question, which was what can people expect if they should be chosen? Do you want to talk about any of the criticism that your show received? You kind of did.
I did, yeah, of course. Unfortunately, there has not been a show that I have produced that hasn't received some form of criticism.
That's producing.
That's drag culture.
No, I mean, it's producing. I said that to my comedy friend the other day. Like, if you're not stressed out, you're not producing right.
Correct.
Even like with Makeup and Mimosas, sold out show, still stressed.
Yeah. You as a performer, put yourself out there. Me as a producer, put myself out there to become a target.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're cool, sometimes you're not. But last year, the criticisms I felt were needed for growth to see what we could change for future seasons and or
Absolutely.
two. But at the same time, I also know that there wasn't a lot of people that would read all of that fine print that we put on every single episode. If you waited around for every single episode, at the end in the credits, it shows all the stuff that went behind the scenes in making those decisions and judgments about the contestants. We weren't eating people up and shitting them out. We were just trying to put on a competition in the parameters that we were allowed.
I don't know your kink, but I don't think that's it.
What, eating them up and shitting them out?
Yeah.
That is.
Oh, okay, we found it.
But it's that a lot of people didn't understand, and a lot of the contestants knew they didn't understand what all went behind the scenes in making the show. They felt that we were just personally attacking their favorites.
That's frustrating.
It is.
As just as part of your show and part of like helping it happen, like that wasn't the point of any of it.
Not at all.
So I hope that the viewers are more understanding.
I think they will have a better understanding this season because now we have, like after we did our reunion episode and after we did the finale, live finale, and I think now that people are talking about Into the Draglands, they understand that what type of competition it is, because last year there was no drag going on when we filmed it.
Right.
Like there was nothing going on.
Right.
This year, we now are surrounded back again by drag shows and culture and queens and stuff like that, so and kings and all in betweens. So there's a better understanding, and people can wrap their brain around. And now we actually have an avenue at Makeup and Mimosas and the Sunday and Friday night shows to be like, hey y'all, I know you didn't understand last week's episode, so let me give you a little. Like we can talk about it. You know?
Yeah. Where was I in my questions? Okay. Thank you for talking as much as you can about it Into the Draglands.
You're good. You're good.
No, I know. But it's funny because when I had you on last May, you were like, I have a thing coming, can't talk about it at all. And I didn't even know what it was. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have you on. We'll talk about it because you weren't even sure you were doing a season 2. So like, we'll talk about it at some point. It's going to be like, we can dish. And then you were like, oh, I'm doing a season 2. And I was like, oh, fuck, we need to talk about it.
Talk about this.
Yeah, we still haven't talked about season 1. So, okay, until Into the Draglands season 2 airs, people can find you at Makeup and Mimosas every Sunday.
My house.
Your house. I won't say where, but it's there. If they know, they can find you there. Also at Makeup and Mimosas. Are you saying that's your house?
No.
Okay, because it is my house.
I know.
Yeah.
Seeing your underwear.
Yeah. They can find you at Let's Have a Look.
Yes.
Which is on Wednesday nights at 8.
Yes. On my Instagram.
On your Instagram. Are you doing a Monday show in Stockton?
No, but we are having the return of Eve's of Paradise in May.
Okay. So we've talked about Eve's on the show a little bit. I have never been, but I would like to come and check it out.
Yeah, come. It's on a Thursday night. It'll be earlier.
Oh, I thought it was on Tuesdays.
No, it's never on Tuesdays.
That proves that I never have been.
Cared. Yeah, it'll be starting again in May on Thursday nights at 10.
Okay.
And we'll have the old Brady Bunch back with some new faces because some people turned 21. And we got a new performer that wants to be a part of the show. She came from Alameda County, and she's sweet.
So quickly, in like 2 sentences, describe Eve's of Paradise and why it's not a traditional drag show.
It's a cast show, just like Makeup and Mimosas, where it's a specific cast that goes in. But it's different because our group does not. We all have our own thing. You know how like when the toy lines release like Bratz dolls or Monster High or Rainbow High. Rainbow High is a new thing I just found out.
Oh.
There's like a different character that kind of matches different things and give them backpacks and all that. Our cast is very similar to that, where it's like we're a unit and we all do shit kind of the same, but we're so different in style and genre and our drag. There's something for everybody. So
I think that makes a good show.
it makes a great show.
And we kind of touched on that earlier with like comedians having their own perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I think and we've talked about Makeup and Mimosas having that on this show. Like we have some overlap.
Yeah,
which is really weird where we the four of us do overlap, because some places you wouldn't expect, some places you absolutely would expect, but we still are four very different performers.
Very.
And the guest is usually very different as well.
Very.
So I think that makes I don't want to watch 5 of the same thing for an hour. You know?
Yeah.
I want to watch variety. And can it be 5 drag queens or 4 queens and a king or 4 queens and in between? Sure, but like give me keep me off balance.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'll wear sneakers when I do physical, and you'll do it in heels.
And we'll see
befitting of
who
your
did
name.
it better.
Yeah, probably you. Probably you. Okay. So follow-ups to when I was on your show, and I'll just ask you really quick. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Do you want to dish on your Makeup and Mimosas castmates?
Like talk shit?
Yeah, or not, whatever. I don't have hard, fast rules like you.
You don't have what?
Hard and fast rules like you?
Hard and fast? Well, what is that?
Because you were like, answer this question, and I was like, I want to qualify it, and you were like, no.
Well, here's why. I'm of the brand that if you say something, mean what you say and say what you mean.
Okay.
And you don't have to. If your answer should not need an explanation if you say it the way you mean to say it.
Sometimes saying something the way you mean to say it takes a lot of thought and preparation in how to say it.
But that's why you say what you mean.
Absolutely. So you do not want to dish.
There's nothing to dish. I think you guys
That's
are
what
all...
I said.
Well, okay. That's what I'm saying. Qualify it. Is it talking shit or we dish and like...
Whichever you want.
You just want me to compliment you guys? I can compliment all of you.
Or you can talk shit, whatever. No one asks you, so I am.
No one asked me because I run the show.
I know.
Have you been to any of our Makeup and Mimosa shows?
I don't think I have. I'm usually over here getting stuff ready.
In the morning?
Well, or, getting like a couple minutes off because I'm here for like 7 days a week.
You should stop that.
Yeah.
But he
I did come by, I came by for the live.
We did a live show, and hopefully we'll do it again where I think you had left.
Yeah.
But we did a whole Suzette Veneti show from Badlands.
No, I remember that.
Okay.
But I'm
haven't
wondering
been
if
to the actual brunch now.
has Suzette ever invited you, like personally giving you an invitation?
Well, I don't. Probably not. I don't think.
You're terrible.
No, I did. But
You
he's very
did?
busy.
Yeah.
Here's what I'd like. I'd like if there was one day where he would like to come and his lady friend, and if they'd like to come and watch brunch, I think that'd be awesome. And then they could see what we do, because they obviously are familiar with me and Apple and Taryn at this point, and you. And then if we did like another live there, that way like we could just like chill and like do it there.
So that'd be fun.
I think that'd be fun.
I'm gonna personally invite you to do that since she doesn't.
Well, at very least, we were like you said, we were probably going to be doing a live one of these on location as soon as I have a Sunday where I don't have something either before or after this, because like because we couldn't have done last week, the week before, because we had shows before. We can't do the next.
See, that would be
week.
a fun live with the Makeup and Mimosas brunch cast.
Did you watch that episode?
I did. It was Apple and Taryn.
Right.
Yeah.
And Chelsea and
I watched
Clifton.
half.
Clifton.
That was a long ass show.
They're all long.
This is a long ass show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm used to like I'm used to like an hour, cool, because I live an hour away. It's not easy for me to just be like, I'm just gonna go home down the street. And depending on when I leave, it's always varies.
Well, I'm at 61 minutes now, so I'm gonna finish this up for you.
Okay.
Um,
You had a rapid fire question thing.
I do, but before I do that, do you want to voice an opinion on? This is me asking if you want to talk shit. I worded it in a nice way, but I'm just gonna ask it. Do you want to talk shit about anyone else? You can pin it. You can come back. Because I was ready on your show. I was like, let's do this.
I know. Okay. To be fair,
I feel like we don't have time.
yeah. To be fair,
Uh-huh.
it's always, again, I'll go back to it. There's one thing about being a bitch, and then there's roasting.
For
right?
sure.
And for me, I don't have any gripes with anybody, so I don't have any reason like throw anybody under the bus. But I will say that now that drag shows are getting back in working order and there are more opportunities, I've seen some performances nowadays. I've seen them online.
Mm-hmm.
People need to step their game up because some of it looks lazy, some of it looks repetitive, and if you're still doing shit that you were doing pre-COVID, you did not grow in a year and some odd months. Like, what were you doing? And if you felt like you were under some mental health distress, that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
But the whole point of that is to move past it, which means start anew, which means start new shit. Like, there is the expectation that if you're not giving fresh stuff, I'm not saying you got to do new music. Do old music. Do shit you've never done before. But if you are staying stuck back there,
Here's the thing. This is a frequent theme on this show, and you watch, so you know. The medium is different. If you're making a video, you're making a video. It's not a live performance. Right. Give me a live performance when it's live, then yeah, cool. You can, but you can do completely different things with video. So you don't have to, but you need to acknowledge that you're not in the club. And if you give me a club performance on video, I'm fucking bored.
There's one time, Suzette.
I might live for it. No, you make great videos, and I do want to talk to you about the video I want to make. So I'm going to catch you before you scurry on back to Stockton, in your socks. I just alliteration.
I wear shoes.
I know,
Yeah.
and shoes. Well, sock sounds better alliterated. Okay, that is all the proper questions I had. Thank you for 63 minutes.
Ooh.
Hellen Heels. I'm going to ask you rapid fire. You ready?
Go.
Okay. And then if you want, you can stay on for Shapiro. When I had you on back last May, I asked you rapid fire. It hasn't changed much, so here are either some that may have changed or some new questions. Favorite show or venue to perform in?
Right now, Makeup and Mimosas at Badlands every Sunday. 2 showings. 11:30 and 1:30.
I looked at Apple today.
Oh my.
What?
Right there on the lights. On the lights right here in front of me.
Well, we can't see that. Oh.
Do you see it?
I do. It's not. Are you scared of it?
Yes, I can see it from here,
It's
and I have
just a
terrible
bug.
eyesight.
It's in the clamps.
It's a giant ass spider.
I don't. Yeah.
It's a furry one. It's
Okay.
not the one that eats flies.
If it comes for you, I'll catch it. I got you.
If it comes for me, I'm lighting this whole place on fire.
Okay.
Nothing will live.
I think Jesse will catch it before that
Jesse,
happens.
I don't want you to die. You see it?
Yeah, finally. Where'd that come from? Jeez.
Look at it.
Look,
It could pay rent.
Here's
Jesse.
the thing. Here's the thing. The cobwebs are real. It's been a couple years, and I just haven't.
Oh, that's not Halloween
I haven't
decor?
met somebody. Okay, and so the cobwebs are. I'm dusty.
Do you let Suzette use this space for free?
Well, I mean,
I was gonna say, put her ass to work. Make her clean all this.
Okay.
Sorry. What was
That's
the
okay.
question?
It's not coming for you.
Badlands.
Badlands.
Makeup and mimosas.
I-
You're so close. Do you see it?
I love. I just want to say how much I love doing the show. Like, I looked at Apple today and I was like, "Bitch, this is our job."
Yeah, it's a cute show.
It's a cute. It's a good show.
If you haven't gone, go.
This should go. But you need to get reservations a week ahead of time. Okay. Favorite song to perform to?
Oh, I hate that question.
I know, but here's the thing. I see you kill all sorts of songs, and I love the angle that you come from. Like, when you did, what's the song? Good Pipe in the Moonlight.
Huh?
Good Pipe in the Moonlight.
Good
Good
what?
in Bed. Good in Bed.
Oh,
duo.
Good in Bed.
Yeah. I was quoting lyrics.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like, that was such
Sorry, I know I'm looking at it like crazy, but do you ever see those videos where it's like the spider's like in the
I like
far away and then it goes up to the screen and
I
it
feel
goes,
like I need to take advantage of this and ask you questions that, like, now you're under stress.
Oh, I know.
So it's like Hellen Heels.
See, now
Here
you
we
don't
go.
know where it is.
He's on your knee.
No.
You didn't believe that.
He's still up there. I know that he's still up there. He didn't crawl back down. There he is.
Okay. Do you want me to wait so you can observe this?
No.
Okay.
God.
He dropped. He's there.
See?
Oh, he's coming for you.
He's fast. Did you see the way he jumped down?
I did.
Spider-Man ain't got nothing on him.
I mean,
Oh, you're going to try to be peaceful and you take it outside? You're not going to be able to. Look, it has white on its back.
here's why it's
When they
good,
have
though.
colors, it's a different
He
species.
kills other insects.
Oh, you better kill this thing. It has no family. I promise you. Kill it.
You are online right now advocating for murder.
I'm not. I'm advocating for safety. And my life is at stake right now because it's headed in this direction. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. See? Oh my God. My hero.
That's what the Hellen Heels show on Stab TV is gonna be. It's just gonna be you
You
reacting to
like?
spiders.
I know, but do you like how earlier I was like, be a boss, be confident.
Uh-huh.
You know that, and here I am. I'm like, ah!
Oh my God, there's bugs.
Thank you, Jesse.
Oh.
You deserve a hand job for that. Not
Jesse's
from me, but
Jesse's amazing.
I was gonna try and get it out of here.
I know he did try. Everybody, I'm the evil.
I appreciate that tactic, and I'm not scared of spiders. Princess like Miss Hellen Heels.
It's not. It's okay. It's not that. It's just that I watched Arachnophobia as a kid. Okay, and on top of that,
How many times have you been bitten?
twice. Well, here's the other thing. No. Okay.
Are
Okay.
you alive?
I'm gonna shut up.
Okay.
But did you die though? Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
We all have been bitten at one point
Uh-huh.
in our sleep,
Uh-huh.
and you wake up and you're like, "Holy shit, I got bit."
His name was Josh. Go on.
And in your head, you're like, "I'm cool," but also in your head, you're like, "That means that there's spiders in my room that want to eat me," right? This one is here, alive in front of me.
No, he's dead.
He jumped down from
He
the
did.
Chrysler building down to the floor in less than like 2 seconds.
Uh-huh.
And then he knew Jesse was going to kill him
Uh-huh.
and ran. There was thought involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's an intelligent creature.
If I had given him 20 more seconds, he would have taken me hostage. Do you see what I'm saying
He
here?
probably was after your drag. He's heard this rumor about you that when people die, you get their stuff, and he was like,
Oh.
"I want."
He wants good shit. That's
he
why he
wants
ran
good
away
shit.
from you.
Yeah. My shoes are good.
But look, now this is a memorable episode. You will be the only person that will ever see me do this.
This is what happens on the Suzette Veneti Show. You never know why or where.
No, it's so fun. Honestly, like in other interview shows, I'm like, yeah, be confident, be a boss. You're amazing.
And we'll see how powerful you are.
And now I'm like, ah!
once this episode is scrubbed, and I'm like, Jesse, what happened to episode 52? And he's like, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Okay. Back to the questions.
That's, you know what? Honestly, that's like when people ask my age.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I don't have to tell you my age, but they're like, yeah, how old are you? Come on, give us a hint. I hate when they do that. Give us a hint. And I'm like,
Give us a
how old
hint.
do you think I am? I'm 29. And they're like, no. And then I always ask, like, how's the lighting? How do you have contact lenses in?
Uh-huh.
Do you have cataracts running in your family? Like, 25. I lie about it all the time, and they're like, oh, we can find out. And I'm like, no, good luck going to the DMV. Good luck.
Who's going to the DMV on you?
Go to public records. Good luck.
Yeah,
I know
look up
people
Hellen
in high
Heels.
places.
Okay. Sorry,
found
sidetrack.
it?
No, somebody stole me. They stole my identity.
Why?
I don't know, but there's a Suzette Veneti that like does porn in Dallas.
Oh, well, that's...
No, it's my picture.
Oh.
I know.
Oh,
and
God.
I'm like, okay, I'm not that easy, and I'm not in Dallas.
Does she work at Deja Vu?
I don't know.
Do you know what Deja Vu is?
No.
You're a straight guy.
What?
What? Jesse, do you know what Deja Vu is?
I've heard.
Okay, it's a
I've
strip
heard the
joint.
name.
Okay.
It's a strip joint, and their literal motto,
Uh,
like on all of their signage, is 99 beautiful ones and one ugly one.
that's brilliant. Because then you're looking the whole time. You're trying to figure it out.
No, really, you are.
Yeah.
But
That's a great marketing scheme, actually. Can you imagine if we did that at brunch?
3 beautiful girls and one ugly.
Or like 4 good performances and 1 terrible. People would be like, oh no, it's Suzette. That's the terrible. There's no mystery. They took the mystery out. So your favorite song to perform to is clearly something about being afraid of spiders.
No. I don't really have a favorite, but I do enjoy, believe it or not, I enjoy songs that are more like indie pop. Like Ali X, Marina,
Yeah.
stuff like that, where I could just walk around and be pretty. I think that's my favorites, but I just know what I'm good at.
Fair. I love performing weird shit, and that's when I get in
believe
trouble.
that.
Because sometimes I do so well, and sometimes it's that Make-A-Wish day. Like, no, you missed, bitch. Okay. Funniest thing an audience member has ever said to you after a show?
Funniest thing an audience member has ever said
Uh-huh.
after a show. I know one that I got today that always makes me laugh, but it makes me laugh because I'm like, this is annoying.
That's your fake laugh. Yes.
Yeah.
What is it?
My response is always the same too. It's so when they go like, "You are so good. You're so amazing. When are you going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race?" And I look at them and I smile and I nod and I give them my customer service voice and I just say like, whenever RuPaul calls me, I text her all the time. Like, people don't understand that that's not how that works.
So it's not always how it works, but that's how Bianca got on.
Well, that's different. Bianca Del Rio knew RuPaul before
No, I know.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, that's my answer. Like, if they want me.
I just like, it makes me laugh because I'm like, people really invest in asking that question.
They don't know much about drag.
No, yeah, on your shows.
It's an indicator that like you do this and then you go there, and it's like,
I'm like, yeah, I'm just biding my time here in Sacramento at a brunch show. Who
well,
wants to be a celebrity right now?
I think the crazy thing is, and I'm not knocking any performers anywhere, but I think at least the 3 of you, Apple and Taryn, I think like the performance-wise, show me queens on Drag Race that are as awesome in a performance. You know?
Denali.
Okay. You named one.
No, there are.
They've
had some elite queens that do their job
for sure.
well.
For sure. But like
But for the most part, yeah, no, they're just getting names.
for $5 you can come see some of the best talent in California on a Sunday. Huh?
Plug.
I'm yeah, of course, but I'm also not wrong.
See that, Jesse? For $5, you can come see some of
I'm
the
not
best
going to charge
talent.
Jesse to come to brunch.
I would hope not.
No. God, no.
He killed a spider for me.
I know you're going to pay
I
for
should
him.
pay him $5.
You look, I'll get his cover, you get the drinks.
All right. Oh, no. Are you a drinker? Oh, shit.
He deals with me
You're
on a
right.
weekly basis.
Oh, yeah. He's running
Yeah.
up a tab.
Right. And I don't know, Apple's covering the food, who knows. Okay. So that is an annoying question. I'm sorry you get that. Who is your favorite LGBTQ activist?
Do they have to be LGBT?
They don't know. They just activate. I don't know the
Activate.
I don't know the tense of that word.
Okay. Sylvia Rivera
Okay.
is a classic activist. Love her. She's one of the first trans Latina individuals who fought for gay rights. Marsha P. Johnson was a prolific person in LGBT
Of
history
course.
for Stonewall.
Mm-hmm.
However, Sylvia Rivera was the person who helped orchestrate the first rally and the first protests that eventually became Pride. So we congratulate, or we remember and we honor Marsha for being the catalyst
Sure.
as a Latino and a person, Latinx descent. I celebrate Sylvia because she, in a swamp of, I say that a lot of people notice a lot of Caucasian and African American activists
Mm-hmm.
and activism in history.
It's hard to clench that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very, very, very seldomly do people notice anybody that is of Asian American or Asian Pacific Islander or Latin descent
Sure.
that were activists at those times. She was a huge one, and yet you never hear about her. So her and Michelle Obama.
Those are great answers. I want to share with you something I learned from David Shapiro on this show. He did a segment
I love him.
Okay. Not many people. I do not, but it's weird.
He's a great
anyone
comedian.
does.
You should go see him sometime.
He's a hack. He told me about William Swan, who was a drag queen 100 years before Martha P. Johnson. And not that she was a drag queen, but William Swan was in the 18th. So you know this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just find that to be I didn't know you knew. I wanted to share it in case you didn't. It's such a fascinating tale.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the distinction. Unfortunately, I have the not unfortunately, but unfortunately, I have a distinction of actually working at a Pride Center. So my job is to know about a lot of historical
Fair.
LGBT references.
Fair, yeah.
So when people want to like bust out certain stuff, in my head, I'm like screaming at them because I'm like trying to get their dates correct. I'm trying to give them like insight. But on the outside, I'm like, let them have this moment.
Was I?
No,
close?
you're right. You're correct.
Okay, cool.
But the thing about it is that like a lot of people are like the first drag queen, the first drag blah, 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 blah. And everybody likes to put a marker on where it is.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is that the idea of drag and its expression has been around centuries.
Oh, for sure.
And drag queens have been around much longer than people know about.
Right. By definition,
Yeah.
terminology, no. But
Yeah.
like the concept of a drag queen, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's all on which research you went to. But yes, prolific drag artist.
Well,
So
next
I'm glad
time
you
I
learned about that.
try to share something with you, I'm gonna make sure I dig deeper.
dig deep.
I know your job, and now I feel stupid, but often I do. Often I do feel.
No,
stupid.
the
No, I'm
reason why
kidding.
I don't correct people, the reason why I don't correct people is
Mhm.
because I want them to have that moment, and I want it to be a learning lesson because sometimes they're saying it because they're teaching other people, and I would rather that be the information out there in the world than trying to be another gay that's like, "Mama, let me tell you the real tea, or let me tell you like what's the real facts or whatever." Like they're just trying to spread a little bit more of education in a culture where we don't do a lot of that already.
I appreciate that viewpoint.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Which do you think? This is a new question. Which do you think the COVID-19 pandemic has affected more, the straight dating scene or the gay dating scene?
The straight.
Yeah.
The straight.
Easily.
Because gays,
Mhm.
first of all, we have an app that will literally lead us to another butthole. Like, did you know about this, Jesse? Do you know about Grindr? Yeah, it's the shit. But
Yeah,
straight
it's
people
butthole
used
too.
to rely on Tinder,
Uh-huh.
or they rely on like bars and nightclubs. It's easy for them. They can go anywhere.
Right.
Gays, we're limited, but
Well, the hanky code was the thing.
how old are you?
I'm much older than I look.
Yeah, much older than that hair.
Apple called me out last week. Look, I look 24. Let's move on.
So, yeah, I think the gays have always, and plus they did not give two fucks. They were fucking people behind glory holes. Like, nobody cared.
Oh, yeah, no. I know. I just wanted hear what you think.
The straights.
Yeah.
We'll give it to them. They've had it so hard.
What is your favorite position to imagine straight people having sex in?
Gay ones.
What is a gay position?
Well, there's not, but it's just like, what is a straight sex position?
I don't know. I don't think there is one. I don't think
there is
just
one
sex
either.
positions.
I know what my favorite sex position is.
What is your favorite?
Side.
Oh, okay.
On your side.
So if you imagine straight people having sex, which I don't think you do,
I don't.
would you imagine them having side sex?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sex is for everybody.
I wish.
I didn't say everyone's having sex. I just said sex is for everybody.
Why isn't it for everybody? Okay. Do you have a DC or Marvel? Do you like DC or Marvel? I know who you're on right now.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Storyline, Marvel.
Okay.
Characters, DC.
What?
Which part of that?
What character do you like?
Catwoman.
All right. Do you like any others?
In DC?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Dick Grayson.
Okay.
I love Nightwing. I love Poison Ivy.
Okay.
I love 1990s Harley Quinn.
Sure.
I don't like the new one. Love Margot Robbie, but Harley Quinn 90s.
It's that's a perfect example of like Marvel would have done that better.
Yeah. But I like other things outside of the Batman franchise too. Like I like the Flash. I like that DC's always been like darker comics anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that just for that element alone.
Is that too specific of a theme to do at brunch? DC comics.
No.
Really?
If you're a fan of comic books in general or in comic lore, you'll know that DC has an array of characters that are outside of like the Justice League.
Oh, for sure. I already know.
So if anybody's showing up
Uh-huh.
and they're excited because we're putting on any kind of comic show in general, they'll appreciate a DC show.
I already know one of the numbers I do.
It would be cute to do a DC versus Marvel show. One set DC characters, one set Marvel.
Like when we do Love Hate for Valentine's Day.
Why not?
Because I would just want to do 2 Marvels. But
well, I'm deep.
I'm dibsing on Zatanna. If we
No, that's who I would do.
Yours?
Yes,
okay. All right, well,
I have done Zatanna. I love Zatanna.
Then
she's
do
my
it.
number 2.
Okay, then you didn't name her. I just said name characters and you
Oh,
didn't name her.
sorry, well, Zatanna.
Okay, well that's why I felt safe saying that.
Besides, you're blonde.
I don't know DC. I don't know who's blonde. Harley. Yeah,
Zatanna has black hair.
Huh?
Zatanna has black hair.
I'll wear a wig.
Oh.
Do you have a favorite drag queen?
Suzette Veneti.
Okay, but really,
I don't know, popular or like local.
you answer.
Well, my favorite drag queen's probably Lipsinka. Right next to her is like Raja. But Lipsinka, if you've never heard of her, please go do your research. She's an icon. She is the original lip sync assassin. She's quirky. She's out there. She's a 50s housewife look. She's everything I wanted to be back in like 1970. And
How old are you?
local, we don't ask that.
I know.
Local, one of my favorite
People are watching.
performers-
They're like, that person was alive.
I have a
in
tie.
1970?
It's between Katana Ray
Uh-huh.
of Stockton, who's my best friend,
Uh-huh.
and Juliana Budget. Because I can watch anything they do, and I'll never see the same performance.
I noticed that you didn't say anyone that's part of the Makeup and Melissa's core cast.
I can watch all of you.
I'm kidding.
I watch all of you.
You do.
Yeah.
You
so-
watch more than anyone.
But you asked me my favorites.
I did. I was kidding. Both good choices. All 3 good choices.
Thank
All
you.
4 actually, because I forgot Raja. Do you have a favorite drag king?
I had one, but he became controversial.
That happens.
It does happen. So he got bumped.
So you got space in your.
No, I enjoy Clive Max. He's the snack of sack. He's my favorite to look out for.
Okay.
He is established.
And by that, you don't mean that like you're looking out for him. You mean like you think he's up and coming.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, I feel like he's put in enough time now to be a performer in his own right.
Mm-hmm.
but he still needs like some years. But I think that he's gonna be amazing.
Well, sure. I mean, that's a thing in comedy too. Like somebody can be really good, and you're like, okay, but once they have like 3 or 4 years, like
Yeah,
I want to see what they are
force.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm so mad. I will never not be mad that he came up with Snack of Sack before I could get there.
Oh, I know, because Kara came up with it.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, when I had him on the live,
Oh.
she called him the Snack of Sack.
Then
I was
credit
like,
to Kara.
Yeah, Kara Coronado.
Okay. I mean, I got my own, but I'm mad that one's taken. Do you have a favorite drag princess?
Is that like a baby drag queen?
Anyone that identifies as a drag princess?
Like who? Like you?
Yeah.
Suzette Veneti.
Yeah. I asked Apple, and she was like, Chichi Rodriguez. And I was like, you bitch, that's such a good answer.
Let me guess, you're going to ask me my favorite drag niece next.
Nope. That is what's written. Yes, but that you already acknowledged. You already acknowledged. That was just to make you acknowledge. So, look, when you have an amazing drag family and they love you, you want to tell people how amazing they are.
You do.
And like they claim me. Like almost like you don't believe it.
Well, it's good for taxes
It is good for taxes.
to claim people.
The other day on Friday, you weren't there on the Fridays of Drag because Taryn was hosting. I walked in and Apple said, in her transatlantic, I found a Suzette Veneti. Like, can I keep her? And Taryn said, do you want to? So
Yeah, you're good to keep around.
all right, well, thank you. Yeah, that was my next. You got me. Sometimes I surprise you, and sometimes I do not surprise you at all. Is the world back to normal? Like it's not. We heard Chelsea say that,
It's
but
not.
what are you looking forward to? Because now you've gotten to do some stuff, so your answer's changed. So what are you most looking forward to doing?
I'm definitely looking forward to like moving on. Like it's to a point where it's like, do we really want to bring back everything that was before the pandemic, or did we grow as people? And did we find new ways and to change ourselves and things we do? I don't know 100% if I'd ever want to bring back Slayground.
Really?
I know how successful it was. I know how amazing it was as a platform for performers.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to? No. It's the same thing with Into the Draglands too. It was successful. It did exactly what it was supposed to do during the pandemic. But the reason why I tossed and toiled with it was not because I was like, well, I don't know. I wasn't teasing. Like in my head, I was like, do I need to? Do I want to?
Well, it was born out of necessity.
It was
almost.
born out of necessity. Now it's not a necessity. But people still want it. And to me, I was like, okay, but that is unfortunately one of those RuPaul decisions where it was like, ultimately, the choice is up to me. So I think that the best thing I could say is I'm looking forward to moving on from ventures or things or music that were before, because that is part of growing as a good human being. You know, if you stay there, you know, parts of you are going to also stay there. And there are definitely parts of the pandemic that I just want to completely rid myself of. Learn from it, grow from it, go for it.
Okay, those are wise words. So people can find you on Instagram. They can find you at Makeup and Mimosas. They'll know where to look for you.
Yes. They can find me
do-
on Facebook. They can find me on Twitter. I'm not a big Twitterer. But
Tweeter?
there.
Twitter.
Tweeter. Tweaker?
I don't
Twitter.
know. Tweeter.
Tweeter.
Activator. That's a thing.
Yes.
Do you know what an activator is?
You can also go to, no, what is it?
Oh, it's in tampons.
Ew. Ew.
I'm a lady.
I know you are.
Yeah.
If you want to find more info about me, a bio, or buy merch from me, you can go to thehellenheels.com.
And that's just is just the normal.
Yes.
Okay.
The
I
Hellen
didn't
Heels.
want, because Megan the Stallion, so I didn't want people going to the wrong. They're typing
Okay.
like
I get that. Yeah.
THEE Hellen Heels, and
No,
it's not coming up.
thehellenheels.com.
Okay. I like how you said it though. Panache.
Well, because when you say the, you're saying the only one.
Right.
There's other Hellen Heels out there. There's like 3 of them. One's a stripper.
Uh-huh.
One's an old drag queen. One's a baby drag queen. So I made my website the Hellen Heels
Do you
because I want people to know that I'm the one that.
Do you
is
feel
that
like they're
website.
alternate universe? Like, because you like comics.
I'm already making plans to have them both as guests on Let's Have a Look.
Oh.
So
both.
I'm literally gonna have a show where it's Hellen Heels, and Hellen Heels.
There's 3.
Yeah.
So you all 3.
Yes.
Okay. So there'd be 4 Hellen Heels on the show.
No, the woman I don't want to have on the show.
Oh.
She's a cisgender woman.
To see that. I actually had a really weird thought. I was setting up for brunch last night and I saw a bum fight. So go with me on this weird mind trip. And I thought, okay, post-apocalyptic, it's 2520. Midtown exists, right? And there's clans and of warring tribes, right? And the most ruthless, like, dictator, like, benevolent, but also benevolent, like, ruler of the tribe, they call the Terran. Yeah, they don't know why. They don't know why they call that the Terran. But they're and then I imagined like you mean Apple like getting transported to the future, and we're like they're like, oh, we're taking you to the Terran, and we're like, that bitch is alive, and then it's just someone else, and we're like, why are you the Terran? They're like, we don't know. It's just what you call the person in charge.
That's kind of cool,
right?
My first thought would be like, Terran's still alive. Yep, her and the roaches.
Yep,
that's it.
Yep.
That's her in the end.
And that not that spider though.
Not that. Thank you, Jesse. I'll have to send you a gift basket.
Okay, that's everything. Do you want to hang out for Shapiro?
I do have to get going.
Okay.
It's going to be like 7 o'clock. Oh, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I know, because rapid fire took almost as long as regular.
So you're not good at this rapid fire thing, huh?
No, I'm sorry. You were the one answering. Who gave long answers?
Jesse, roll back the tape.
That's fine. You can go. We'll skip Shapiro tonight. We'll just call it a show.
Even though that's a great name for a talk show, like late at night.
What?
The Shapiro Show.
It could be. I don't like him.
Well, I'm not saying for you. I'm saying that just in general. That sounds like a late night talk show.
Yeah. Or like an attorney thing. Like where you get legal advice.
Yes.
Okay. Hellen Heels, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure. It was a joy. We went a little longer. I apologize to you and Jesse. There was a spider.
Kick her out, Jesse. There was. See, that's not fair. There was a whole spider thing.
There was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came for your drag. I will see you soon. I will talk to you soon. And people can find you in all the places they can find you. That's the show. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Thank you to Chelsea Bearce. We will be back next week, 5:03-ish, probably 5:03, with Deja Sky out of Fresno. Fresno. So thank you for watching and see you next week.
Are you off?
I love it. Yeah, yeah. Stumbling, but yeah, you're still looking hella fun. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll make you mine. Well, you're a hot mess, and I'm falling for you. And I'm like, hot damn, let me make you my boo. 'Cause you can shake it, shake it, shake it. Yeah, you know what to do. You're a hot mess, I'm loving it. Hell yeah. You got me hypnotized. The city's your playground, I watch you take a bite. At 5 a.m. roaming the streets, drunk all night. You think you're hot shit, and ooh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah. Stumbling, but yeah, you're still looking hella fun. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll make you mine. Well, you're a hot mess, and I'm falling for you. And I'm like, hot damn, let me make you my.
Let's skip that song. Like it's muted sometimes. All right, everybody, that is Suzette, but we're not done here. I know, normally, that's the end of the night for Step, but we're not done. Come back in an hour, the top of the next hour, 8 o'clock. It's Molly Party. It's Molly Doan's character variety showcase program. It's always a lot of fun. Do come back at 8 and check that out. In the meantime, let's see if there's somewhere that we can send you folk to enjoy a little bit more show. How about, let's see. I don't know if they're still going. I don't know. Let's see if we can send you over to Unexpected Productions. I don't know if we've tried this before and they don't raid. Let's see. Let's see if we can keep you guys going. Oh, it looks like they got something going on there. All right, so go check that out, and hopefully see you guys here back at 8 o'clock. See you then.